please, my lord, we apologize for the delayed start.
Yes.
It was occasioned by the issues that we discussed with the court in chambers pertaining to Mr. Mngomezulu.
Yes.
Yesterday, the proceedings were adjourned to today in order for Mr. Mngomezulu to be present. He is now present. And I'll then ask any of my colleagues, my lord, to put the extent of the discussions that we had in chambers on record.
Yes, Mr. Mngomezulu. Yes.
My lord, as we have discussed that and I've indicated that I'm getting much better, but I'm not in a position to cross-examine the witness, and I've made a request that my cross-examination should be suspended until after the cross-examination of Advocate Mshololo. I will then proceed after Advocate Mshololo, and the parties have agreed, and Advocate Numalo has agreed to stand in for me, and that has been communicated with my client, the CB accused #1, on the basis that the condition in court will actually hamper or disturb the progress of my healing as the court pleases.
Yeah, can you interpret for...
So why didn't I talk about Mngomezulu yesterday? I mean, it was very visibly clear that he was not well. The man was made to leave the comfort of his home so that he comes into court, so that he leaves court. And he stood there. This is a man who we have seen stand up strong, boldly. I've done videos. I think I've done a few videos where I talk about his body language when he's doing cross-examination, what that means. And when someone is down, I don't like to focus on that, because obviously this is a very, very sensitive time for him. Obviously, we all wish the absolute best for him, and I didn't want to focus on that. Also because it was going to pull my energy down if I began my videos yesterday speaking about it, because Mr. Mngomezulu is visibly not well. And I know he used the words that he is healing and being in court is going to disturb the progress of his healing. But for me, he still looks unwell. I'm happy that he's on the road to recovery. I'm happy he's received the time off from court. I'm happy he's getting the right medical attention that he deserves. But keep in mind as well, I watch the court proceedings from home. It is not an easy thing, because you're watching it from start to finish and you're watching it as they go. Okay, so if they have a full day where they really start at 10 and then they break for tea and then they go and then they break for lunch, it's a lot. It's a lot. It takes up a lot. If you haven't watched the proceedings in one shot, remember, we are watching for entertainment. Mngomezulu will be watching for work, which means he's taking down notes. I also take down notes. You're actively engaged in the work involved. Of course, it will be different from being in court. But I think even him watching is hampering the progress of his healing. I don't know what is going on with him, but sometimes the medication sometimes might make you need to sleep consistently in order for you to get better. So you already know, as a family, we continue, okay? We continue praying for his strength. We continue praying for his healing. Ramasipili has got this, okay? And the defense is going to continue down along. I think it works. I think it works because as they progress down the cross-examination, Mngomezulu is continuously going to be healing. I hope so, that that extended time is going to help him, and then he's going to come ready to do cross-examination the way that we know him to do cross-examination. We cannot accept anything less. Imagine if he was compelled to begin cross-examination in that condition. And I think he started being sick before we realized it, and that possibly explains his cross-examination with Ntini. Was it Ntini? Where he just, skated through it. He didn't give that usual performance, okay? Because again, guys, I'm a commentator. I promoted, to expert, but in essence, I'm a commentator. I'm an entertainment channel. I give you all this information while educating you at the same time. So it's a mix of things. So all those elements come together. But when Mngomezulu is down like this, it's difficult for me to turn that into entertainment. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So my ask, per usual, drop in the comment section down below your well wishes for Mngomezulu. Let him know we miss him. We miss the pitbull, everything you guys type in the comment section. It's so entertaining. It's so encouraging. And, from me, Mzansi Unfiltered, I absolutely wish you a very, very speedy recovery. Mngomezulu does not look well. You do not look well, sir. And I hope you're getting the rest. Take your fluids. Take everything that your medical professionals are asking you to do. And get as much rest as you can, because we need you, okay? We need you. Ramasipili is burning down the building. And no, we are not sending any signals yet. Let it burn. Let it burn if it has to. Because maybe then, Gininda will finally begin his investigation, in my humble opinion. Because we're done with the inferences, with the corroborations. Nothing he said. There is nothing that Gininda said over the last 3 weeks where I said, oh, okay, I see it. Remember I said I want to go back to the Netflix special? I got to watch Shadrach Sibiya. Okay? What Shadrach Sibiya says in the documentary doesn't match what Gininda said on the stand. Does Gininda even know there's a Netflix documentary? But you know what? You know what they say? You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you. Even that whole Netflix documentary. So maybe this is why Chikotwala has gone silent. Guys, I saw Chikotwala cooking. I was like, what? Wow. Is this where he's gone? Is this where he's channeling his energy now? I'll try to share the video. I'll try to find the video and I'll try to share it for you in my short or in my community tab. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for all the support yesterday. Let me play the clips, of what went down. I just wanted to do this intro, which now looks like a whole video on its own. This is the reason why I did not do a video on Mngomezulu yesterday, because I'm an empath and I take on energy. And sometimes it's a lot. I take on the energy. When you guys drop the energy in the comment section, I take on that energy and then I embody it and then I record the videos. So if I had started off with the Mngomezulu video, that was going to be the energy of the day. So my energies were going to be low. But I've learned to find a balance for it, and I recognize it. So the good part is I recognize my energy levels. And I know my triggers. And so, yeah, let me end it right there. Too much talk about that. You already know the things to do. Members, drop the Mngomezulu emoji down in the comment section down below. To my shy gang, I see you guys are coming out of your shell. Okay? And this is definitely a safe space. If there's any kind of safe behavior, I do catch it and I take care of it. Don't worry, take care of it. There was one loose cannon yesterday. I was like, oh my God, you are so lost. We are not about that here. Listen, I'm not even going to reply. I don't even reply anymore. I don't even reply. Because energy, okay? Umlilo. Do you see? Somebody said umlilo in the comment section and I just picked up my pinch's energy just like that. Okay, let's continue watching. I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you, my daughter. I was approached by Mr. Mngomezulu after we've met in chambers and requested me to stand in for him in order to allow him to recuperate. I have no problems, my lord. This was communicated to his client, Mr. Sibiya. If there is any further thing that Mr. Sibiya would wish me to convey to Mr. Mngomezulu, I'm going to take whatever instructions and inform Mr. Mngomezulu about the developments. and whatever instructions that he's going to relate to me. Thank you.
So how long is the hiatus regarding Mr. Mngomezulu's health? It's going to determine how long
My lord,
you assist.
the arrangement is the cross-examination is going to continue up to Advocate Mshololo, and then thereafter Mr. Mngomezulu is going to come back. It is then that stage that this arrangement is going to cease.
Okay. You confirm that, Mr. Mngomezulu? Yeah, you don't have to stand up. You can just...
I do confirm it.
You do confirm it. And you say this has been conveyed to Mr. Sibiya, and it was discussed in Mr. Sibiya's presence, meaning you, Mr. Mngomezulu, and Mr. Sibiya, minimum, and the other councils.
Yes, the minimum was 3, myself, Mr. Mngomezulu, and Mr. Sibiya.
Okay, and what was Mr. Sibiya's view?
He agreed to the arrangement. May the court confirm also from him.
Mr. Ramasipidi?
As the court pleases, my lord, I do confirm the arrangement, and I do also confirm that as part of the part discussion, I was involved, my lord, as the court pleases.
Mr. Nisi?
As it is the court, my lord, although I was not involved in the discussion, but I'm quite happy with the arrangement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr.
Munyeki.
Munyeki, sorry.
Yes, my lord. Yeah, my lord, I was not part of the discussion, but I do confirm that some of the issues were raised with the defense of accused number 5.
Mr. Sibiya, stand up. Do you confirm the agreement, the arrangement?
Yes, I do confirm, my lord.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to quote what the law says.
Yes, Malo, can I just maybe add something?
Oh, yes, Mr. Sorry, Balui.
Regarding the ambit of the discussions that we had in chambers.
Yeah.
It was emphasized that Mr. Mngomezulu will follow the proceedings as they occur, and will also get a running record of the proceedings, so that he's fully acquainted with what is happening in court.
Yeah, how does he follow the proceedings?
Yes. Well, the proceedings are being broadcast live, my lord, and
okay.
He will, and I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I think the extent of the discussions was that, he will follow the proceedings in whichever way to acquaint himself of what is going on. And I suppose if there's anything, he will then communicate with Mr. Ngumalo. And the other thing, my lord, that I'm wondering about, should he then recover before the end of the cross-examination of Mr. Ngumalo, I suppose then he should come back to court. So he's excused from court pending his recuperation or the finalization of the cross-examination by Ms. Mshololo, whichever comes first. That should be the condition.
Thanks. Is that your understanding, Mr. Mngomezulu?
Whichever comes first, my lord.
Okay. Yeah, but that you are going to follow the proceedings on YouTube, you said the other day.
I've been following it, man.
Well, they've got problems with YouTube.
No problem.
Because there are too many experts there.
Huh?
I cannot stop listening to this. Okay, you know what? I should do a separate video, just that little clip, because I think it's hilarious. I love it. He says there are too many experts on YouTube. They surely are. They surely are. But I can only speak for myself, okay? And my house here, Mzansi Unfiltered, with over 45,000 subscribers. And as for me and my house, we will... You know what? Let me speak seriously for once. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, okay? And as well, we will remain friends of the court, and we will continue to provide court guidance, okay? See us as your assessors, okay? Unofficially appointed assessors. We listen and we watch and we give our opinions right here on Mzansi Unfiltered. Thanks so much for watching, my lord. Blink twice, and let me know which channels exactly you're watching. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to let that one rest anytime soon, because I could have never predicted a moment where a sitting judge confirms that maybe they watch our channels. That is absolutely interesting. But let's continue on. A shout out to Uzthulele Mngomezulu. Okay, a brother in need is a brother indeed. I don't know what happened with the defense yesterday. They seemed like they were throwing Mngomezulu under the bus. But I guess they wanted clarity and fine lines drawn, okay? Umnisi, I guess, didn't want anything left in the gray area, and then a mistrial, and then next thing, jiggy jiggy, everybody's got to start again. Because one day, you know, Umuzi Sibia can wake up and say, you know what? I didn't have a legal representative, and you guys kept going. And he would be within his rights. So Umnisi did not want that. Remember, Umnisi is a public prosecutor, was a public prosecutor, so he has vast years experience, and later, clearly, him and the judge, finally we know why they have that kind of relationship. The judge kind of hints at, yeah, we work together. And it seems to me they worked very well together, or they might have had many, many successful cases together. I don't know. That's what I picked up from that. But I'm going to play it here as well so you get to see it. So shout out to Mngomezulu, shout out to Rams, shout out to Nyegi on behalf of Advocate Shololo, and shout out to Nisi standing with a brother in need. Nisi is happy. Nisi moved from, I don't know what's going on yesterday, to I am happy with the arrangements. So I am happy as well. I'm happy that, you know, they kind of talked it out. And you know, it happens in families. You got to have that family meeting, have everybody sit down, make sure everybody's clear on their positions and where things go. So interesting turn. In the next clip, we get to see a different side of the judge. I'm going to prefix it and say, and I'm not saying this just because, you know, I was elevated yesterday, myself and my colleagues, to being experts and not just commentators, but I'm saying this because truly and truly, I believe the judge came out of his shell, and we finally have a judge in the courtroom. I mean, it was beautiful to watch. You got to see it. You've just got to see it. It's shocking. Actually, it's breaking news. But let's not forget to talk about Baloyi. Baloyi didn't read the room. Didn't read the room. He's still on about, yeah, okay, I'm great that everything is gonna go, but he needs to be reminded, my lord, can we also put it on record that he needs to be reminded he's still working? Okay, he's not on holidays. He's got to be following the proceedings, and he has to be kept abreast. He said he's going to be watching the live broadcast, okay? And my lord, okay, what happens if he recovers before Shololo completes her cross-examination? He should come back to court. By the way, I think Mngomezulu is old enough to make that decision on his own without your inference or interference. But the fact that Baloyi wanted it on record, for me, speaks volume. Baloyi is that sibling. Baloyi is that sibling who just wants to get you in trouble every chance he gets. Okay? Baloyi goes on to say he is excused from court pending his recovery. Baloyi, take several seats, okay? The judge wants to make a ruling on this. You keep going on and on. Let it go. Mngomezulu is not well. We can all see it. It would take a blind man not to see it. We got a little bit of empathy from the judge when he said, you don't have to stand up. You see, it's working. These commentaries on our channels, our outcries, they're working. Let's keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it, guys. Keep those comments coming in. We got a little bit of traction there. Mngomezulu didn't have to stand up because wow, just watching him stand up was so labor. Oh, when he leaves the courtroom, that's even more heartbreaking. But let's get into it.
Yes, sir.
On that aspect, the proceedings from the 7th of October to the 22nd of October 2014 were emailed to Mr. Mngomezulu, and he confirmed yesterday that he received my emails. Yes, so whatever that comes from now on, I will be forwarding whatever that comes to Mr. Mngomezulu in order for him to apprise himself with the proceedings. Thank you.
This is what the law stipulates. The cross-examination. Let's start there. The cross-examination sequence, which appertains in a court of law, is governed, I think, by section 127, and amongst others, it is discretional upon the presiding officer as to the sequential cross-examination which going to be exercised by various counsel in a particular case like this one has to abide by the prescripts as to how the accused before court are being cited after being charged. In other words, lack of a better word, if Mr. Sibiya, as he is accused number 1, his counsel is expected after each and every witness to be the first to cross-examine the state witness who has given that evidence. But these procedures are not immutable. They are not cast in stone. They can be modified, added to, if special circumstances arise, like in this case. This case started before this court in July 2023, but previously my colleague was involved in this case, Judge Maumela, who had to recuse himself after being incapacitated physically. So I am aware that the allegations also arise against the accused as on the during October 2014, about 10 years ago. This court will not go into the history of this trial, but for various reasons, the actual concourse of this trial only began, I think, in 2019, is that so? 2019. Before Mr. Maumela.
Yeah, well, before Judge Maumela, it was the first appearance was in February 2022.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yes.
So that was the initial appearance of the accused before this court. So I am of the view that because of the history of this case and because of the incapacity, which I believe is temporary, of Mr. Mngomezulu, these aspects constitute special, extraordinary circumstances which may allow this court to accede to the request by Mr. Mngomezulu and his client that Mr. Mngomezulu will keep himself apprised of the proceedings in this case, as he has always been doing, and he will keep in contact with Advocate Mngomezulu, who has volunteered to assist accused number 1 and Mr. Mngomezulu. The overriding aspect is that no other accused should suffer prejudice in this trial as a result of the arrangements which this court is agreeing to, as requested by Mr. Mngomezulu and his client, because the court is enjoined in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution to accord an accused and his counsel or attorney a fair trial as described in our Constitution by, amongst others, a retired judge of the Constitutional Court, Johan Krichler, in the case of the Attorney General of the Cape versus Key, which is a constitutional case which is seminal, in my view, in defining the aspect which we all refer to as a fair trial. And I'm also consoled by the fact that there is no apparent conflict of interest amongst the accused and their counsels regarding the charges facing the accused. The accused are facing 5 charges. Murder with the application of Section 51(1) of the Criminal Procedure Act. Robbery, also with the applicability of Section 51(1). Possession of a firearm, and also attempted murder with the applicable Section 51(1) also being there, and possession of ammunition. And further, the accused are also charged jointly with the allegation that they allegedly committed these offenses in pursuance of a common purpose. So consequently, the onus of proof, which rests on the state to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt, is not delineated differently from either of the accused. The state has to prove those charges with the application of the doctrine of common purpose. All 5 accused also reserved their right in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution not to disclose the basis of their defense. Consequently, as I say, up to this stage, it cannot be cogently argued that the accused, any of the accused or counsel, with regard to the arrangements which this court is acceding to about the health of Mr. Mngomezulu, that there has been a conflict of interest or there has been a denial of the concept of a free trial which must appertain to all the accused before court. Consequently, then, that application is granted. Also, he gets a periodic record of the proceedings, besides just himself being apprised of the progress of the trial. He must also be furnished, as he has been furnished, by the running record, which is available to all counsels in this case. And therefore, I find that it is in the interest of justice that this case should proceed. Okay, yes.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
I have excuse.
Thanks.
I still have mixed feelings that Mngomezulu was made to come to court so that he can then be excused at the same time. We see him here. He stands up to leave the court, and you can already see in his demeanor he is having a labored walk as he walks towards the door.
Mr. Brigadier.
Yes, my lord.
Kinanda, you're still under oath. Okay.
Yes, my lord.
Thanks. Okay.
As the court pleases, my lord. My lord, may I proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Morning, Brigadier.
Morning, Mr. Ramsey.
Now, sir, I'm going to start my cross-examination with...
I imagine it is due to his health condition, which of course has not been disclosed, and I myself personally respect that decision. Okay, health is not for public consumption, I would say. And that is the views of this channel. As my Lord said, therefore, the application is granted. So now let's talk about my Lord, okay? Let us talk about my Lord right there. Did you notice I didn't disrupt him? Did you notice I didn't respond to anything he said? I let him run through with his ruling from start to finish. He started his ruling, he explained the whys, and then he gave us the section that he is covering, and then boom, it is therefore that application is granted, because what Mngomezulu's health condition does not create a conflict of interest on the 5 accused or a denial of the concept to a free and a fair trial. Therefore, that application is granted, and it is in the interest of justice that this case should proceed. Listen, I wanted to give a standing ovation, okay? Because my Lord, hello, the judge has entered the building. Did you notice he didn't throw his hands? He didn't have any tantrums. He listened. He went through the ruling. I thought he was fair. I thought he was neutral, and there was no animosity that was displayed. And I, as a member of the jury here in the public sector, appreciate that a lot. This is what we've been crying for. This is what we've been begging for. And guess what? Throughout the trial, Gininda finds out. Gininda finds out that my Lord is not part of the dream team, okay? It is shocking to discover. Even for me, it was shocking to listen. Is that my Lord? Like, he was surprising us yesterday. He was surprising us. I don't know. There's something about this cross-examination that has my Lord turning the curve. Or has somebody talked to him? Or is it the YouTube channels that have finally caught his attention that no. Your unprofessionalism is unprofessionalism, okay? It is unbecoming, and we are tired. We, the members of the public, we're tired of the nonsense. All we want, though, guys, we are in the interest of justice, okay? We're also in the interest to a free and fair trial. We're also in the interest of show me the evidence. And we're also in the interest in the concept of innocent until proven guilty, and that the state has to prove to us beyond reasonable doubt that the 5 accused are guilty, and that Kelly Khumalo was part of it, and then she has to now face her own song. I don't know why she gets an exclusive show after this, in terms of an appearance in court after her arrest warrant is signed. I mean, Guningi, okay? It's a lot, and I don't want to digress. Let me leave it here. Make sure you turn on your notifications. I'll be breaking down more videos for you today. Especially, you don't want to miss it, okay? You don't want to miss the judge. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you turn on your notifications. Thanks for all your support. You know all the house rules. I'm not going to make this video any longer. So you know the house rules. Thanks. Bye.